It's working. This is Deep Dish Unit 18 of 34. 8 of my brothers have been destroyed by the crash. Good news is, the star slamming experiment was a success. Bad news, we've lost the Cosby Comet. But we will survive, we will still broadcast, and we will still look for Mr. Captain. I am currently malfunctioning. Okay, that's how much of a computer we have right now. Alright, begin the transmission.
Audience, please stare directly at the center of the screen for superseat calibration. Close your left eye. Now, rapidly open and close your left eye, like this.
Wow, this is easy.
Now, close your right eye. Now, rapidly open and close your right eye, like this. Thank you. It is advised to remove your dentures or false teeth before the movie begins.
Let's all laugh at an industry that never learns anything, tee-hee-hee.
During a conversation between me and the captain as to how we'd go about making a Sailor Moon reboot, Robbie wanted Serena to be a fully grown adult ass-kicker instead of a 14-year-old schoolgirl, since he felt that the high school backdrop many an anime has been known for exists specifically to waste our time with characters sitting in a room doing absolutely nothing interesting. A perfect complement to what he calls the precursor to the laziness glorification vehicle we call gassy temperatures. We'll explain our fruity little plan for Sailor Moon some other day, but this talk has gotten me thinking. How is it that high school is often the escapist fantasy equivalent of kryptonite? Well, I figured out that shows like these spend way too much time on high school drama than the escapist elements we actually come over to see. Specifically because the bland and mundane things in life, like drama and shipping, are the easiest to write. Isn't that right, Ally McBeal? Say it ain't so, Deep Dish, I hear you cry hanging from my kneecaps. Please be gentle on dear old Danny. No, you clod! It's Robbie who hates this show, not I! Besides, it ain't even on Nickelodeon. The episode begins with body measurements. The tallest of the class get drafted in for the basketball team, while the puny ones get carted off for crab soccer. Whatever the hell that is. And it's winter, because basketball season.
Get down on all fours, robot! And let's see some crab hustle!
Immediately you see the cracks within the concept of the show. It's a lone robot in a normal human high school. Technically it's a middle school, but they're so close together I may as well count it here. Why do people keep producing animated TV shows set in these generic high schools? It's not a very interesting place to set a show. It's dreary and sterile, the people there are unpleasant, and you forget about it the minute you graduate. In fact, there's only one name I can remember from high school off the top of my head, and that's simply because she was an otaku anime girl, I guess. And don't even get me started on the damage it dealt to the captain's sanity. RJ and Sox flaunt their placement on their respective teams with predictable response. The handicapped girl Shannon drops by much to Jones's delight, but naturally she ignores him because the dude's hella small. They watch the first game of the season when, really? These dorks are in their late teens. Why put those puny munchkins alongside those lunks of lumber? Clearly, yet another way the system's rigged the world from cradle to grave. The following day, Jones is surprised to see that Tim wound up getting a growth spurt overnight. And one so comically ridiculous, even Jones doesn't even recognize him.
Error. Your body type is too large for Tim Unit.
It is me, robot!
Yesterday Tim was puny. Today, Tim is much larger.
I should probably mention the mess that got this show sunk. Originally, they used Macintalk Jr. for the voice of Robot Jones, and it perfectly fit. A little on the cheap side, yes, but as the NSCL put it, it can be a brilliant idea for a cheaply made animated show. This could have been the end of it, but judging by the voice you're currently hearing right now...
Hello, Shannon. I made the crab soccer team. Your body type is too large for Team Unit.
That's right! Executive meddling strikes again! They thought that having synthetically voiced characters was way too weird. Yeah, try saying that to Hatsune Miku. So they swapped it out with Bobby Block, going as far as to redub the first season. Damn! Not to knock the kid's voice talents, but Judith Barzi, you ain't. Bless her soul, fuck Konami. Naturally, growth spurts aren't really a thing for robots unless you count upgrades and such, so Jones takes matters into his own hands. It actually works pretty well for Robot Jones, but he doesn't really have a clue how to control the faulty wiring he did to himself. And naturally, the perfectly normal human school is freaking out about this.
Hello, Shannon.
Jones flirts with Shannon a bit before she goes to discuss with the other humans what's the fuck's up with them.
He's having robot puberty. Robots don't have puberty. Sure they do. No way.
Personally, I kinda agree, because between you and me, the idea of robot puberty bugs me. No matter how hot it sounds. After a trip to the principal's office, we cut to the big basketball game of the episode. Whilst cheering on Socks, another growth spurt occurs, leading to him making the team as a scab of sorts.
Robot with your legs so tall, help us win at basketball.
God, I have to pick out a positive from this show, don't I? The art style's pretty damn decent. It has this sort of schoolhouse rock kind of vibe if you're into that kind of stuff. It's a bit on the ugly side, but with a show as cheap as this one, you better take what you can get. Fine now? Alright, moving on. He plays well for a robot, so well in fact, that he ties the game in the second half, leading to trouble from the visitors. Does Jones pull through? Of course he does! It wouldn't be a generic high school plot without the good guys winning. But how does he learn the episode's moral?
Hello, anybody? Data log entry. I have experimented with growth spurts.
In the final seconds of the episode! Up yours, Cartoon Network. Up yours.
Final analysis. My original body size is best.
Conclusion.
I can understand why the aforementioned YouTube channel NSCL didn't want to recommend this show to anyone. The setup makes this show way too predictable for any payoff to properly function. The characters are archetypes we've seen way too many times before, and it's overall so bland and unwatchable that I actually feel like I'm doing an injustice even putting it on the list. Give Space Pirate Mito some credit, because at least it does new concepts on top of the usual anime high school superhero tropes, and Breadwinners does new concepts all the time. And at least you could make out what sort of characters our casts are supposed to be in the Ratchet and Clank movie, but this show is on par with Johnny Test. But unlike Johnny Test, its cancellation after 2 seasons was mercifully swift. I mean, hey, if you like it, that's perfectly understandable, because the way I see it, I know every show has its fans, and I've stated at least one reason why, but I wouldn't mind to see another data log entry during the middle bar of the search for the worst. Well, Cartoon Network realized that putting an Anna Place extraordinary in a mundane and ordinary setting, it was utter drug to begin with, so they took the Galaxy High approach and slapped a normal human into an extraordinary school. An animal school, if you will, and thus my gym partner as a monkey was born. Hopefully Robbie will come banging on my door to make me review an episode of this show, because I find it perfectly okay. But what they didn't learn was why such a premise is flawed to begin with. It makes for predictable television. In case you're wondering, yes, we are proper pissed that the Powerpuff Girls reboot tossed our favorite trio in the middle school without even bothering to age up the designs. I know Bob Boyle has done a lot better with Yin Yang Yeah, but I have a feeling that I'm gonna have to ask TV's Kyle to give you the talk. Like, have him just walk up to you and say,
Most women, most human females, when they hit puberty, they get these things, they're called breasts. I understand that you might not know this, considering that the vast majority of the female population has them in some form. And, you know, the species, actually no, the entire mammalia class of animals wouldn't exist without them.
I'm at Comic-Con!
Flash.
Cry like an anime fan on prom night.